we're going to get started. A couple things. The school requests that we be out of here by 9 o'clock tonight. So we want to wrap this up no later than 8:30 if we go that far. So that's just one request on the school. A second request on all of us is we're trying to have a civil meeting, okay? So we'll do the presentation, and we'll have, after the presentation, we'll have every bit of time up till 8:45, 8:30, 8:45 to answer your questions. We have our village manager here, we have our finance guy here. If we can't answer the questions, we will write those questions down, and we're going to put something out on our website for your area and get those questions answered. So that's all I ask. I mean, if it's going to be yelling and screaming and pointing fingers, the meeting will just end and we'll just go about our way. So, with that being said, there's some of you guys that don't know who I am. My name is Frank DeSimone. I've been the village president for a little over a year. I've been a trustee 2 years prior to that. When I took office, I was asked about this system and this project, and I was asked to put something together. So over that time, our administration has been putting things together for me. A couple things about me and about our first year in office. I'm very community oriented, and for those of you who don't know, I ran because Public Works wouldn't solve my side street, so that kind of is one of my driving forces. So in our first year of office, we started a senior snow plowing program and a senior grass cutting program, which is reduced for senior citizens in the village of Bensonville. We also reduced our debt from $87.5 million to $75.1 million. And by the end of my first term, it'll get down another $21.5 million. We also streamlined the village hall, and we saved $1.7 million. And we're able to reduce our property tax increase to only 1% per year. The village also just got done negotiating a Republic Service contract. That's our garbage company. Starting in 2009, it'll be a 10% reduction to the residents. Also, over the last year, we've received $8.2 million in grants. So that's kind of where we are, a little bit about my background here in my first year. Moving on, like I said before, I was asked to go ahead and try to put a proposal together for the White Pines subdivision. As we all know, the subdivision, it dates back to the 40s, and we believe it's functionally obsolete. We have spent, the last year working on this to come up with a fair, equitable way to come up with a solution. And we're committed to fix the problem. Everything you see here in this presentation tonight is going to be straightforward. We're not hiding anything. We're not twisting any numbers. Your packets tonight when you leave will have the exact amount you're going to pay for, I believe, 20 years, correct? So over the next 20 years, you will know, as of today's numbers, what you will pay. So that'll be in there. There's no need for me to sugarcoat it. The previous plan, I'll be the first to tell you it wasn't good. Some people believe it was, some people believe it wasn't. I didn't agree with it. So next slide. Just a little bit about it. You guys all know about this in the 40s. Water system brings the village of Bensonville water to White Pines. 1990s, the White Pines water system reaches its useful life. And in 2018, the system is obsolete and possibly unsafe. The current 6-inch water mains are undersized. Volume and pressure demands require 8 or 12 inches in diameter. You guys all know that. In the 40s, water mains typically broke. The system is fragile and residents are often inconvenienced while the village responds to these water main breaks. Father's Day weekend, we had 16 water main breaks in one weekend, and the cost was over $60,000 to replace those. The water mains are located in the rear yards. Typically, water mains are located in the rights-of-ways in the streets, which makes it easier to maintain and repair. The current water system, again, has multiple dead ends. Some of them are caused by carports or sheds or things being built over them, and it's crucial for them to be interconnected for water pressure. The Village of Bensonville provides water to White Pines as a regulated utility under Illinois state law. The village plan requires White Pines water system to be replaced to ensure safe, reliable, high-quality water to White Pines. Replacing of the water system includes installing new 8 and 12-inch mains, and the cost is approximately $7 million. This plan will also include the service lines to the homes. We've developed this plan. We'll run the water main replacement project as a village project. The village will pay for the water service lines wherever they're needed, and we'll also repair and replace any damage to landscaping that is done by the project. So, funding option number 1. This is with no annexation. The current unincorporated water fund balance is about $900,000. That's not including the $60,000 that was just spent, but that's nor here nor there. If the project is funded, and it's just funded with the water and sewer charges only, the water and sewer bill would go up 275%. That's what we would need to replace the $7 million project. That's numbers, that's the truth, that's what you can look up. So, on 5,000 gallons of water, the average user is $281.74 instead of our current charges of $153.68. The Bensonville resident only pays $102.45 per month, roughly $179.29 more per month, or $2,151.48 more per year. So if you look at the first section, the current bill, so that's a regular rate, plus your 50% surcharge equals that $153.68. If we do the project just on the water rate increase, no annexation, the bottom number will be $102.45, which is the regular rate. Additional 175%, which is $179.29. And then your new rate would be $281.74.
If I can interject, I'm Evan Summers, I'm the village manager. I want to start off by pointing out we recognize that this is high. One of the mayor's challenges that he gave me when we came up with this was come up with a variety of solutions that we can look at. We know that for a lot of you, being an unincorporated is important to you. It's part of your way of life. This is an option that, while expensive, would allow you to protect that way of life. Big difference between this plan and previous plans is this project is going to happen. It's just a matter of how you want to pay for it. So the village is committed to getting the project done. These options are the choices that you get to make for your own personal residence. So 275%, it's a lot. It's, but like the mayor said, that's what it comes down to to make the debt payments on water. So we'll go into option 2 and I'll let the mayor complete on that.
So funding option 2 is voluntary annexation. Again, the fund balance is $900,000. $6.1 million will be remaining, which the village will seek an IEPA loan, which will pay for that debt. The plan does require annexation agreement, as the new property tax dollars that would generate from it will be used to pay down that loan. In order to get the project started, because we don't know when the property taxes are going to start or end, for the first 5 years, any non-senior will just have a flat $50 surcharge on your bill. Seniors will have a $25 surcharge. That's just to get the payments going until the tax money kicks in. Property tax dollars collected and fees in place for 5 years together are not enough to pay for the whole system, so we're going to actually have to fund it through the village, through the residents that are Bensonville residents currently now. Next slide. So this is just the chart. $900,000 is what we have. $6.1 million over a 20-year loan, which we'll get right now at a current rate of 1.84%. And I think we have until July of next year.
Yeah, the state reprices this rate every year. It is 1/2 the state borrowing rate, so it's currently 1.84%, which is a great interest rate. But we all know, if you look at the news, interest rates are rising, so we would expect that rate to go up every year from the next foreseeable future.
So the benefit of water main replacement, residential service lines will be abandoned and the new service lines will be installed. The fire flow will be improved and we will hopefully reduce service interruptions and allow for quicker, less invasive repairs since they'll be in the front. Why Bensonville proposed this solution? It was a request by one of the White Pines board members. The current system is beyond its useful life and it's also a safety quality issue. And the project right now will cost around $7 million. I believe it'll be more because this is I think 3 years ago was $7 million. But if nothing is done at this point, it'll just keep going up and up and up. Go ahead. So what is different than the previous plan? Well, under our leadership, the previous plan from 14 and 15, the plan proposed a 50% contribution from the village and a 50% contribution from White Pines, which is about $3.05 million. Right now, we don't require any contribution up front from White Pines. The plan also proposed, the previous one was an SSA, and that was roughly $12,840 over the 20-year period. We do not require an SSA. Plan requires annexation. This plan does require annexation, but it also has a non-annexation plan, which is that water rate increase to 275%. The property tax abatement was offered to you back then. We cannot offer that to you now because we're using that property tax to pay for the debt service to repair the system. The 50% surcharge will go away. It'll go away in ours too, but like I said, we added that flat rate just to start paying for the loan. The residents were allowed to maintain the rural character of the properties, and we'll do the same thing. We will not enforce any of our ordinances. It'll be county ordinances, and the most we can stretch it out is 20 years. If the county ordinances change, then it'll be that way with the village. So, sample one, this is no annexation. So in year one, your current bill, if your annual water bill is $1,643, and your annual property tax bill is $5,654, the total is $7,297. That's your current bill. So now if we go to the 275% surcharge, again, your water bill is at regular rate is $1,095. The 175% surcharge brings that up to $1,917 for a total of $3,012. Now, I know there's rumblings about a scare tactic. This is not a scare tactic. This is the numbers. This is the truth. You guys can research it. We've been doing this for a year. This is the numbers on this system to make it work to pay for it. So your current taxes will be $5,654 for a total of $8,666 in your first year, which is an extra cost of roughly $114 a month. And it goes all the way through year 6. It goes to $132 extra a month.
It should be noted that, well, we stopped the example here at year 6. This would be for the foreseeable future, for the next 20 plus years, you'd be paying that 275% rate.
Number 2 is the voluntary annexation. Again, your water bill is $1,643. Your property tax is $56.54 for a total of $72.97, which is the same. Your water bill now under the annexation plan, $1,095. Your $50 surcharge for the year is $600. Your property tax is $56.54. Again, you're going to be changing fire district, so that's going to be an additional $285. That's fire district, that's not the village. And your new village tax is roughly 10%, so it's $737 a year. From the people I've talked to, I think our garbage company is cheaper than your garbage company, so we think you'll save about $120 a year, roughly, give or take. We require you to buy a village sticker, which is $32 for whatever car you have. We just put 2 in there, so that's $64 for a total of $83.16. So your extra cost is $1,019 or $84.88 a month. But if you notice, after the $50 payments over the 5 years, year 6, Your monthly burden expense is $35.43. That's what you're going to be paying for the new system at that point.
And we'll be providing a personalized one of these for all of you. We pulled your property tax information from the county. So while this is just a sample, this is an average bill for White Pines. Some of you will be more, some will be less, but it'll be personalized for you. We'll have that for you on the way out.
Financial impact for no annexation over the 6-year program, as you can see, starts at 18% increase, it goes 19.5% increase. So to me, I mean, that doesn't work for me, but that was the option. For voluntary annexation, it's the opposite. It starts at 14, we'll say for the sake of math, and in year 6 it drops to a 5% increase. Now, another thing that I also heard on the street is, we don't want street lights and we don't want sidewalks. If you don't want them, we're not going to put them in there. I mean, that's a no-brainer. So that feel will stay the same. So here, you go from 14% to 5% over a 6-year period for a brand new system.
Can we go back to the Impact 1? I just want to make sure people see that comparison. So in Impact 1, it comes out to be $1,500 a year in extra payments for the foreseeable future. Now if we go to year 6 of option 2, that's $425. So you're saving about $1,000 a year on that.
This is for the seniors. So in year 1, the current rate is going to be $68.99. This is for the no annexation, this is for the rate increase. So your first year in extra payment will be an additional $1,369, which is almost a 20% increase, and it keeps going up until it goes over 20% in year 6. So at the end of year 6, you're paying $1,587 extra. Now, if you go here to the voluntary annexation, your first year is a 9.5% increase. Your second year, and it just keeps going down until year 6, where it's under 5%. So year 6 is $361 more per year for this plan. This is a new slide. I didn't get a chance to see this yet, so we're seeing this for the first time.
I'd be happy to walk everyone through this. So I want to do a side-by-side comparison so people can see your left side is the 275% water sewer rate increase. On the right side in green is the annexation. The annual savings is in the blue on the right. And at 10 years, which I think is a decent metric, the annual savings for annexation would be $8,249. Over the 20-year life of the project, it would be a total savings of $24,848 if you chose to go with the annexation over the water rate increase.
Next slide. Some of the benefits, obviously the lower water rates and sewer rates. The senior discount will be in place for water and sewer and garbage. And plus the seniors now will be part of the senior programs that we have with the discounted lawn cutting, snow plowing, and the senior luncheon. Quick and comprehensive police protection, free ambulance service from the fire protection district, and discounted rates at our pool, theater, ice arena, and Liberty Field if you're looking to rent that stuff out. Again, lower garbage rates because the village negotiates the contract. Aggregation through ComEd is 4.3% lower, and Public Works will be doing the snow plowing. You'll also be part of the Dial Bus program. We do the mosquito control through Clark like everybody else does, and you'll have use of the teen center. This is from Crane's Chicago Business. Benefits as a Bensonville resident, increased real estate values and marketability. Crane says that Bensonville home values increased by 21.4% last year. Existing structures will be permitted and will be recorded with the voluntary annexation agreements. Village will follow county ordinances for a period of 20 years, like I said previously. So whatever's on your house now will be recorded, and that'll stay there for the 20-year period. Now, if you come and add something else, then...
For example, if you had 2 sheds in your backyard, it would be recorded in a voluntary annexation agreement that gets recorded with the county, they have 2 sheds, which means code enforcement's not gonna write you a ticket for having 2 sheds. It was permitted by use.
So the next steps, tonight the village will be handing out, like we said, your individual packets. It'll have exactly what you're gonna pay for the next 20 years, what it's gonna cost, both plans. White Pines residents are encouraged to review the information and meet with village staff in the next coming weeks to discuss any more questions, because you're not gonna probably have them all today. You're gonna need to look at the packet. The village will provide voluntary annexation agreements to the residents down the road. And then we plan on applying for the IEPA loan by October 31st, this fall. And then once we get the loan, the project's gonna start. Go ahead. Okay, so now, we'll take questions and we'll try to get a mic up to you and we'll probably start jotting some questions down too, so speak slowly for us.
Right, and some of you may not want to speak publicly. Mayor's made it very clear to my staff that I'm to be made available to all of you. I prefer came in groups, I can answer multiple questions at one time, but if you don't want to do it today, Mary's here, you can meet scheduling with her and I'm happy to attend. So I'll work the room with the microphone, Mayor and I can tag team answers as we see fit. Again, we do have time constraints and try to keep it civil.
And again, if we don't have an answer, because like I said, Public Works isn't here, we will get you an answer.
One second. If you could state your name and your address, that's helpful to us too.
My name is Warren Morrison. I live at 240 McGuire Lane. Would this new water system go right down the middle of our brand new roads?
Simple answer is yes. We tried to reach out to the county and tried to have them stall it, but it didn't work. Yes, so there'll be stop cuts to those new roads, absolutely.
The pipes would be in the right of way. If we could keep them all the way on the far edge of the right of way out of the road, that would be ideal. It's easier for us to dig that up. But at the end of the day, the township made the decision to pave those roads, and they would be saw cut, but they also would be repaired.
Oh, I got one right here. Hold on.
Thank you very much for your presentation today. My name is Doug Levine, currently the newly elected president for the White Pines Civic Association. One concern I would have is that this legal jargon that will be written up, contract language, will you provide the attorney expense for the residents to have questions answered through an attorney of things that they might be concerned about, such as if I sell my home in 5 years, what happens? Does the ordinances apply now to the home, or is this forever for 20 years? And secondly, how can you guarantee this for 20 years on everybody's property individually?
Question number one, the attorneys. We will pay for an attorney, but what we ask is submit 3. Because we don't want to pay Jim $50,000 if Joe's going to do it for $5,000. So we want to have.
Sorry, as village manager, I need to make sure we will help pay for one attorney to negotiate a model annexation agreement for all White Pines. It'll be your attorney, and I don't care what we do with your organization, but I'm not going to be able to pay for everyone's individual attorney. There's 280 properties that would get paid. So a model agreement would probably be the best way to go. I'm on the same page.
So, and the answer to my question then, what happens after 5 years? Does the ordinances apply for a new homeowner?
To be fair, I would think if you move out of White Pines, the new homeowner should come into the village ordinances. That's my thought. I mean, have I put all my thought into that? No, I have not. So, I mean, we can reach that agreement later on.
So you said that there was going to be some kind of pre-inspection of the properties. Will this also include the insides of homes?
No, we're just looking at the outlet. We don't want somebody having, a 2-car garage, and then all of a sudden we have a 6-car garage, So we just want to record what's there now. So if you decide to put up another garage, we say, hey, listen, this was recorded with the county. This is what you're supposed to have to do. If you decide to do that, that now falls under the Pennsylvania ordinances.
Okay, and 2 more if I can. Sure. As far as tax reductions, since we don't have curbs with drainage and sidewalks, and not that we require them, maybe some will, but if we don't, will we be able to get a tax benefit from that?
Answer is no, because there's houses in regular Bensonville, incorporated Bensonville, that don't have curbs and sidewalks, like the Forest View area off of York Road. There's some areas down by my house, they don't have curbs and sidewalks. They don't have sidewalks, most of them have curbs, but you do not.
Okay. And then, after you tear up our streets, can you black coat them to cover up all the cut-ups? Is there a way to cover that up so our streets will look nice again?
I don't know if there's a way to kind of like a driveway sealer. I mean, I know they make a product like that, but we'll have to get back to you on that one. That I can't answer that one.
Yeah, that's an engineering question. Oh, yes.
I'm sorry, if I can address the residents. We just got a website up today, actually. We're still working on it, and just make a mental note of it. It's whitepines.info. That's it, whitepines.info. You can access it on your cell phone or on a computer. Please look at the website, read the information. Please do register to subscribe so you get the newsletters and information. And please look at signing up so we can get your information and get you in our database. Thank you.
Just because I forgot to mention this because it wasn't in there, and this will be in your packet. We received a letter from Nick Cottenmeyer laying out the county's plan. So the county's plan basically is our plan, the pipe plan. It's $7 million, but they're going to require an additional $3,485,000, and it says here that's the 2016 estimate. That $3,485,000 is in addition to that plan, the $7 million, and that would have to be paid up front to go to DuPage County. So just so you know that.
And we'll provide that letter so everyone's on the same page. We're trying to be as transparent as possible, so that'll be your packet tonight.
And another thing I want to clear up too is I've heard a lot about Village of Bensonville makes hundreds of thousands of dollars off the water rates from White Pines residents. So we brought in a total operating revenue of $484,000. The operating expenses is $337,000. So we make $39,447 off of White Pines residents. That water main break was over $60,000. So already 1 year of profit, so to speak, was paid for. Well, we didn't take any money out of there yet. No, we have not taken, that $900,000 is intact. But we have not taken the money out yet. We didn't do a fund transfer yet. And the thing is I don't know if we're even going to do that.
Your Honor, I'm here.
Doug, I'm Rodney Thompson, a former president of the White Pines Civic Association, pushed into a wall through this very issue. I would like to remind you, Doug, the White Pines Civic Association is a party group. It has no legal rights whatsoever. I want to remind the people in here, the White Pines is a civic organization. It's for parties, it's for get-togethers. It has no legal basis. So keep that in mind when you're talking to a person like Doug. He has no legal basis.
Okay, we're just doing facts. I just want facts. I don't want bickering back and forth. So please, let's keep it civil.
Hi, I apologize if you come in late. Finding a parking spot was a little bit tough to do.
Valet didn't show up.
So I'm actually new to the White Pines area. I did about a year ago. I'm at 49241 Pine Grove Avenue. I really enjoyed moving into White Pines. And coming in late, it almost sounds like we are going to be annexed to Bensonville. Is that correct?
Well, there was two options. One was annexation to pay for the project, and one was a water rate increase to remain unincorporated to pay for the project.
Okay, and how are you going to decide if we're annexed or not? Is it a vote?
All right, so this is where it gets kind of, anyone ever played the game Risk? It's kind of like Risk. You can only annex in if you are contiguous, that means touching someone else who is part of the village. So you can jump roads and everything, roads, streams, forests, you can jump that. But one of your neighbors on a corner, on the frontage, backyard, you have to annex in. So we're gonna give a little bit of time for people to sign the annexation agreement. I apologize. So, to annex in, you will have to be contiguous. You will have to touch somebody else or be across the street or from, no, not necessarily, not all or nothing. If you touch someone, or you'll be on that 275. And that's Illinois state law, that's not my idea. We just can't have islands in the middle of White Pines that are annexed in and then ones that aren't. No, you're thinking of an SSA. Voluntary annexation is voluntary. You come to me as a homeowner. You do not need your 51% of the neighborhood. It's just you come in and give us your petition. Your petition will be on file with us until someone else touches you, and that will be touches you on the corner, front yard, side yard, backyard, across the street, across the forest preserve, whatever that is, it has to touch Bensonville property.
This is the only time we encourage touching.
We got two over here.
Hold on, let me, hold on,
Sorry, Margaret Ornowska, 4th and 366 Briars Lane. My question is going back to that previous one. If not everyone joins the village, that would change the entire proposal, right?
No.
If it comes to the rates and the payment, then no?
No, we were able to make these two ideas coexist together. So they can work in concert with each other. Whereas if you pay the $275, that covers your portion. If you annex in, then the village will subsidize what's not covered there. So they can work in tandem with each other. It's a delicate dance, and I got to hand it to Amit for our finance director to be able to make that work, but they can coexist together. So if you are dead set on never annexing in, you can continue to pay that 275% the rest of your life.
Hi, I'm Debbie Burlett for N386 Pike Grove. I just want to understand something. So the annexation, if I say I want to annex, I can annex. So the forced annexation would be if somebody is contiguous with me? I'm not understanding that.
And I gotta apologize, this is rather technical, it's rather legal. If you wanted to annex in, and you were surrounded on 360 degrees around you, of nobody else who wanted to annex in, you would not be able to annex. You have to touch somebody, even by a half inch, it has to be contiguous with the village. What would happen is your petition would be on file, and then eventually when one of your neighbors decide to annex in, that would connect and it causes a chain reaction. So it's kind of a chain annexation.
So we would be, if we wanted to annex, but our neighbors didn't, then we would be forced to pay that 275% of the water now. My last bill was $533.
Unfortunately, that would be correct.
Bill Brewer, 4X324 Ridgeway. Am I understanding correctly that you are going ahead to replace the water mains? We have two options. The first option is we go up to the 275%. Our second option, if we choose to and we become contiguous, we can be the next. But one way or the other, you are going ahead.
Yes, the project will go
Water
ahead.
mains starting next spring.
Yes, as soon as we get the loan approved.
Dean Hinterman over at 1666 Crest. So the question is following on if we are not surrounded and you choose to annex and the neighbors in the 360 do not, and you have it on petition that you want to annex, we are paying $275. When your time does become available, is there any credit or anything that is a benefit to those residents who wanted to maybe a year, 6 months, 3 years previous?
So, yes and no, like most things in life. Your 5 years of $50 surcharges per month would not apply. So if you annex in the third year, if you voluntarily submit, if you annex in the third year, you only have years 3, 4, and 5 to pay. We're not going to hit you up for those all 5 years because you paid your portion through that 275.
Yeah, so, but if, say, in year number 4, and you're the only one that wants to annex, and we had your file for 4 years, and for 4 years you're paying $275, you're paying $275.
And that's not our village plan. Trust me, if I could take you in as an island, I would. It's not going to best table.
I'm not sure I understand that next year you're gonna go ahead with improvements whether we want it or not. Is that what you said?
Correct.
We have no say-so about this at all?
Correct.
I can't believe that.
We are, for better or worse, whether I want to or you want me to, we are your water supplier for White Pines. We've gone through numerous conversations with the county, American Water, White Pines Civic Association, White Pines Community Alliance. At the end of the day, I have a legal obligation to provide clean water. That system no longer works.
But you're not gonna give us a chance to find another.
We've given you chances, and they just haven't panned out. So this is the best way. It really isn't, and I gotta be honest with you, the IEPA process, it goes through, and we have to prove that this is the most cost-effective way to do the project. And so they're the ones that gotta make that judgment, and as a water utility, we have to provide
Can I
it.
go back to, pump and septic?
I don't believe you can under county ordinance.
Sorry, one more question. The annex to Vincentville, we're no longer White Pines. That means our property taxes go under Vincentville rule, is that correct?
Correct.
So at any time the Vincentville taxes go up, so does White Pines.
All of Bensonville would go up, yes.
So you're paying all the other Bensonville local taxes, such as school district, Benton, park district, library. You're already paying all those. The village portion is only 10% of a resident's taxable. We are capped under state law, we are not home rule, at 4.9% annual increases. Mayor DeSimone has averaged that out to 1% his last 2 years that we've been able to do a budget together. We're gonna try to keep it low as we can.
There's no benefit for me to raise taxes unless we're in dire need. And as long as we keep streamlining and keep cutting our debt, I don't have to raise taxes. And I don't want to raise taxes. So it benefits me as well, obviously.
And the village manager.
That's why he's young, he gets to run.
Michael Palmieri, 16W 656 3rd Avenue. First question was, who decided which homes along 3rd Avenue were rolled into White Pines when my plat survey clearly indicates I'm not in White Pines? That's how it's going.
Yeah, when we put that together, it was the scope of the project, is that the word we're using?
It's the project area.
It's the area of the project. So yeah, there was probably a handful that probably should not have received that letter in error on our part, but we scoped the project out and that's where it fell in.
Okay, all right. And I noticed there's, like myself, there's a lot of gray hair in this room. That's a lot of money you're asking for. A lot of folks are on fixed budgets. You got to do better. You have to do better.
The numbers are the numbers. We've worked
I
on
understand they're the
them.
numbers. I understand they're the numbers. However, really, it's a lot of money. And when Brown wants to raise the water rates for all the suburban residents, not just Bensonville, you have to pass that along to us also. And that's kind of taxation without representation. Who fights the city of Chicago when he wants to raise the water rate?
I remember somebody tried to fight the city of Chicago once in this community, and they lost heavy-handedly. Listen, I'm not here to hurt anybody. That's not who I'm about. I need to look in the mirror every day. The numbers were done over a year of time, and trust me, we said, what if we pulled this out, or reduced that, or moved this? So I'm all about seniors. I'm starting senior programs. If I reduce the seniors, then the non-gray-haired people, as you would call them, would have to pay the difference. I mean, the numbers work the way the formula has been laid out. I mean, that's what we need to get by. I don't want to hurt anybody, trust me.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Alan Grady, I live on Church. So what happens with Church? Do we have, being across the street, is a golf course? Is that considered?
Well, so first off, Church Road is a Bensonville road under our jurisdiction, so we would be able to annex you voluntarily if you wanted it right away. Also, there is a petition for annexation for the golf course to come back in the village on file that we anticipate accepting in August, I believe.
And is it 275% of your current bill?
No, it'll be the village. The question was, is it 275% of your current bill? You guys are already paying 150%. So it's 275% of the village rate. So you take the village rate, multiply it times 2.75, that's what you
Hold on.
Scott Selzer, I live on Church Road as well. So, if anybody along the Church Road line, anybody who has a property on Church Road can annex. What about so someone behind my neighbor touches my property line, would they be able to annex as well?
Yes. Evan, we got right here. I know we have two right there, right?
Okay, so
Wait 1 second, let's get a mic.
what if an unincorporated home that's not like Pines annexes? Who would be able to use that contingency?
Well, this plan was built for White Pines. If anybody who's unincorporated wants to incorporate it, as long as they're touched, and we will.
I mean, are they facing the same thing or not? Just White Pines?
Well, yes, well, there's some that are on well and septic too, but yes, eventually they're all facing the same thing.
Hi, my name is Carol Anthony. I live on Fisher Drive. I want to follow up with her question just now. Are you saying that if you live in unincorporated Bensonville, these plans apply?
One of the two plans, yes.
Yes, okay. So, a number of people live on dead-end streets, and so my question is, when you tear the sewers up, or tear the lawns up, maybe the streets up, will residents have access to their roads to get to their houses, and how is that going to work in the winter, et cetera?
Well, we hope to be done by winter time, so we don't do construction in the winter. Because the roads and pipelines are very narrow, we've thought about that. There will be temporary interruptions, but nothing more than 24 hours. So your road may be torn up, but we make it drivable within 24 hours. That's just kind of mitigating what we can.
Thank you. You mentioned that you would also pay for landscaping that was disrupted or ruined.
Correct.
Would you also pay for architectural features of people's homes if they end up being destroyed?
So the existing water main system, the one that we all know has been contested on who owns it, under this plan, what we do is essentially turn that system off. So we're not ripping anything out of your backyard. That system gets what's called abandoned in place. So it'll sit in your backyard. You guys believe you own it, by all means, you can dig it up, hang it on your walls as a souvenir, but it'll be functionally obsolete. So it will only be new water connections into your house. So we don't typically run into anything where an architectural feature of your house would be impacted.
Are these mains also along the front roadways of people's homes?
Some of them are, correct.
Okay, so some people have like brick pillars and lights and stuff that are in that.
Yeah, so on a water connection, we got a little bit of leeway to go around those. And I gotta be honest with you, it's cheaper to go around them than it is to dig it up and rebuild it, so yeah, we'll go around it.
Again, Warren Lawrence and Briar Lane. The question is, if we annex into the village of Bensonville, will our house numbers change also?
Yes. And that's done by the post office.
That would be great. And then in some will be annexed, some won't, and some will have this guy, some the other guy, plus all of our records.
I won't have to change any of those signs though. That's all the post office doing.
This question, Tom Early from Church Road. Does this include the actual connection to our homes?
Yes.
That's one of the advantages of this project. The last time the village tried to make you pay for that. Most of your houses were built before 1985, which means there's probably a lead connection. I'm not comfortable with the village manager leaving those in place, so the village will pick up that cost.
And does it include, once you connect to the house, will you connect to the existing connection in, or can we say just come in from the front, put the water meter there? Okay. Second question, you had said the fire and ambulance would be free. So Spain has said that's going to be true, or is that true with Bensonville residents?
Well, I wish I reached out to Spain to put a slide in here and I didn't get it back in time. From what I understand is, and could be speaking out of turn, so this is kind of my phone conversation with him, and I hate to do this, but I believe you guys pay $20-some $100 or something like that if an ambulance shows up. I think that's the bill. And I'm sorry? Well, he told me 2,000.
Well, it depends. There's like 3 classes.
Okay, well, all he told me was 2,000 some odd dollars. That's why I said I wish he was here. And what happens is you would have to pay for that. But he says the incorporated residents, whatever the bill is, whatever their insurance pays, they write off the rest.
And then one last question is the permits. If we annex, then we're using your code officers, but you're using the county.
Correct.
Codes.
Correct.
You won't have to drive the week to get a permit.
I got one here.
It's going to be an administrative nightmare for my guys, but we're ready to do it.
Question?
Laney Green, 16 West 710 Red Oak. The lines coming to the houses, coming from the street. What happens if it comes to the center down my concrete driveway?
Can you repeat that?
Dead center line into the house down the center of the driveway.
Abandoned in place.
So then we'd have to reroute the new line to where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we would route it around your driveway.
We're probably not going to rip your driveway out. That's because, again, that's just too expensive for us. I think we've got one right here.
Did I hear you say?
Richard DeSimone, 4 and 385 Briar Lane. Am I correct in understanding that whether we annex or not, that this is primarily being paid for on a water bill, not property taxes? Because for instance, for me, I don't pay property taxes. My property tax is over 0.
Speak up.
Yeah.
So the question was, how is this being paid for? Is it, if it's option 1 or option 2, is it on the water bill or is it on property taxes? We are factoring in that when you incorporate in, if you go with option 2, that your new tax increase, our finance director will be taking that and applying that to help pay the debt service on here. There will be a surcharge for the first 5 years, but after that, we're taking all the new increment on tax dollars. So if you're paying 0, I can't, no way to raise taxes, right? 0. So you would big on that. Over here.
Hold on, I got one here. Hold on, give me 1 second.
What are the conditions that you find about the project that would lower the cost? We have time to us. And what I'm thinking of is, I thought I heard you say that the service lines that already exist, we already have a requirement. You're going to redo those? Why would you do that?
Service lines, if they're lead, are going to be replaced. So, yeah. And most homes, we believe, in that area are going to be lead service lines. Now, let me flip that question on you now. Since that was a $7 million project back in the day before I got here, if it goes up, can I charge her? We're going to take the cost. We're going to eat the cost if it's over $7 million. We think that's a pretty fair number, give or take a few. So whatever that is, that's what the plan, that's what all those packets are based on that $6.1 million figure.
I'm Kelly Vidalis, and I'm on Briar Lane. I understand that if no one around you chooses to annex, say I'm right in the middle, what is the deadline for people to decide before, if I can't annex, you're going to start charging 275% increase? Or what's the deadline for us to decide?
Well, we're trying to get a good grasp on it by the end of August. I mean, that's not written in stone, but that will kind of give us an idea on where we need to go. Now, who's to say the loan holdout is paying 275% for 3 years? Are we going to say, no, we're not wanting you to annex, you keep paying that. We'll allow you to annex, but whatever you paid, that 275% is you paid.
That golden hour is going to come from when we make the IEPA application until we're approved. That gives us some time to work with you guys, talk to your neighbors. And again, I'm making myself available to talk to your neighbors. If they're shut in, I'll go there, I'll knock on the door. Frank's made it clear that we're hand delivering these folders to them, we're not going to mail them. So we're going to try to make that contact so at least they understand their options. I would hope that we don't have too many islands.
Haven't appeared yet.
Yes, I'm Gary Gardner. I live at 17W131 Woodland, and it's been debated for the past 3.5 years or so, again, who actually owns the system. So suppose the majority of the people don't annex, and a year and a half from now, the system is complete and there's sporadic people who have annexed. Who owns the system at that point?
Because we're a public utility, just like ComEd or NICOR, we all know that NICOR owns the pipes in the ground, right? So, I shouldn't say no. ComEd and Comcast own their wires, they own the poles, they're in the public right of way. That's how this will be perceived.
Being that, I personally feel as a resident that, the Branniger had laid down a water system and also made investments to the sewer and water system in Bensonville way back when. So, I mean, don't you guys feel guilty? Don't you feel obligated to maybe pitch in 50% of the cost of this water system so we don't have to bear the brunt of the cost? We've already paid for what's been going on already.
And I think you and I will probably disagree on this for a long time. And it's very difficult, recognizing it's difficult, Brandon, I'd love you to share that with me. But if that's the case, it's a functionally obsolete system. So we're going to move forward. Again, that system's yours. If you want to dig it out of the ground and use it as a souvenir, by all means. We don't need that as part of this. We're doing the new system.
The problem is, everybody has an answer or a reason or why it happened back in the day, and there's no true record keeping on what had happened back then. So my saying is, I'm moving from here forward. Whatever happened in the past, throughout the village, I'm cleaning up that mess. Okay, but I'm still trying to move forward, and I think that's what we're doing. And I honestly think that one of these two proposals is better than the one that was presented before, and the one that, when he tried to force annex you guys in. I think it's a better option. That's my opinion.
I understand that. I'm just saying, being that, there's the option of, there's a new water system, we've been paying for what's been going in, and I'm just saying, don't you guys feel obligated to pitch in some money for the water system? I mean, let me ask you this, because if we were annexed and our water system was old right now, wouldn't you come in and replace those parts and as water customers, and we wouldn't get charged for it?
But if you're annexed, you'd be paying Bensonville taxes. So, as part of Bensonville taxes, as being a Bensonville taxpayer, how am I going to say, I'm going to pay half of yours and you've never paid Bensonville tax? I'd have to answer to 18,000 residents that would be up in arms. Who's got a question?
Hi, I'm Amanda Shaw. I live at 4 and 181 on Hawthorne. I'm sure these numbers are a lot more overwhelming to people that are on a very fixed income. It's intimidating knowing that my husband and I want to be here for many years, and I personally do not want to be annexed. But obviously money plays into that. And when we met and talked at the Bensonville Fest, you mentioned something about how regardless we were going to be pushed out of Addison Township, and that they're dissolving these townships. And I did some digging, and it's not so cut and dry to where we're just gonna dissolve and be forced. Okay, fine. So now here we are, and these are our options, and I'm looking up here, and this is super intimidating, and to everyone here, it's like it's almost a scare tactic, and I don't mean that insulting, but it is. And at the end of the day, you are going to get all this tax money, and it's not that you're completely doing this out of the kindness of your heart, even though I'm sure you're an amazing person. And we also, we have a new committee working on this, and I know that there are a lot more things that they're discovering about grants and things out there, so there are more options out there for us. And this, without you bringing it up or only showing us that the county has an offer that's really expensive, all it's saying is you're going to be stuck and screwed paying a crap ton of money or come along now, but at the same time, you have no options. So I really am hoping that my neighbors will really take some of this with a grain of salt and allow our committee to continue to research and find things, because there is no urgency, and I don't know if the urgency of fall or whenever you're pushing to get this done. I mean, these are all just, honestly, as just me, it seems like a scare tactic, like this needs to get done now, and if you don't, then you're gonna be paying all this money. I mean, do you understand as a resident where I'm coming from?
I do. Going back to the first question, the township, I've said it 100 times, it could be 1, 3, 5, 10 years, eventually they're gonna disappear, okay? Going to the new committee and working on options. They've been working on options for the last 3 years, okay? The old committee has, the new committee's working. We just did one weekend of 16 water main breaks. The system needs it. It's not a scare tactic, and to put the numbers up, we wanted the facts. Not this, yes, they're high, the numbers are high, but that's the number broken down to what it would cost to repair. So I'm not trying to scare anybody to do it, that's the reality. Now, the county sent their numbers to us. It's $4 million more than what we have offered. American Water, and I believe, I don't know if you said it, they sent the proposal, which to me sounds like it was not good. Can I be safe? And American Water is a for-profit company. So if they don't want to do that or send a low ball offer, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, and they're for-profit, I think the numbers are dwindling. There's no grant money. The state of Illinois is broke. We can all agree on that, okay? So, yes. Is this number high? Yes. Is your system old? Yes. Does it need to be fixed? Yes.
Does it need to be done right now? Does it need to be done where we're freaking out, thinking we need to get annexed right now because you're pushing forward in the fall?
Well, here's the problem is that is out of our control. I mean, we're trying to get the best rate for the dollar on top of that. But that's when the interest rate goes up. It takes months to get accepted. So that's why we're shooting for the October 30th, I thought it was October 31st deadline, so that we can capitalize on it. If it takes 6 months, 8 months, we have that rate locked in. I don't want to come in July and say, well, maybe it's here, maybe it's not, and that rate, I hate to use numbers, doubles, so to speak. Now the plan doubles, and it's even more money. And I know a lot of people say, let's do it in sections. Why would we want to rip up your neighborhood 3 different times? Let's just get it done and get it done in one fell swoop. I am not here to scare anybody. I don't want that perception. I mean, I've heard it. You're going to raise our rates by $10,000. Our property taxes are going to go up 200%. There's a lot of false comments out there. This is what it is. When you see your packet, that's what it is. That's what the number is.
Hey,
there's no influx. There's no.
Finish the thought.
There's no fluff for the village. And you say we're getting all this tax money in. That tax money is paying for that project. It's not like the village is now we have all of White Pines is our money. That's going to pay for that project to be done over the 20-year period. Now after 20 years, yes, then we'll have tax money. But I don't know how long I'll be here, but.
So to dovetail into that, I know we've been here over an hour. If you guys want to start trickling out and start doing your packets, we'll be here until 8:30 to answer questions. But if you want to leave, your packets are available. We do have a question right here.
It's only 7:10, right? We can go for another hour.
Actually, I have a few questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a cap on that increase?
A cap on what?
A cap on the interest rate?
I don't know. There's never truly a cap. Next year, it could be whatever it is.
So a year from now, we could be facing an interest rate of 15% 15%.
Good. Or a year from now, we could face an interest rate of 0.01%.
That's very true, but we all know interest rates are going up.
Correct.
Second question, you mentioned that real estate taxes were gonna pay for this project.
Correct.
And your cap is 4.9% per year.
Correct.
So we could typically get a 4.9% increase for next year, and then the year after, and then the year after.
Absolutely.
et cetera.
Absolutely right. But if I do it for you, I have to do it for everybody in Bensonville.
So the entire village of Bensonville is gonna pay for this project, not just the White Pines people.
Initially, they're paying into it, but you guys are gonna pay it off.
So you would be new tax dollars coming into the village, and I think that's what is a little confusing. That new tax dollars is being applied to this project. Future tax increases, I mean, yeah, Frank can probably raise taxes 4.9%, but he get voted out of office. So that's someone else's state law. We don't want that to happen.
Any other questions? We have up here, down over there, and there's tons of them. We'll get to you, I'm sorry.
Hi, my name is Tom Bailey. I live on Pine Grove Avenue. We've been talking about voluntary annexation. Is there a point where the village could decide to annex the whole subdivision?
There is a point that they could do that. Evan, go ahead. You're more technical than I am on this.
Under Illinois state law, you cannot force annex to anything over 60 contiguous acres. So at some point that could happen. That's not in the cards right now. Frank told me to make this plan a two-tier plan: voluntary annexation or the stay unincorporated.
Michael Palmieri again, 3rd Avenue. Earlier this evening, you talked about how a lot of residents in White Pines are upset that the roads will get repaved. I know you try to stop that. Okay. So when we do this big dig, what about any flood control in this mess? When it rains, there's a lot of issues.
Because your area just has the culverts, right? Is that?
Now, you have some underground culverts that feed into White Pines that eventually feeds into Redmond. And culvert's over 30 years old, I would assume it's got to be full of roots by now. 3rd Avenue floods when it rains. That water comes across about 83 when we have a 5 or 8 inch rain.
Because he's been unincorporated, our guys haven't been out there and looked at anything. It's something we can look at. We just be a little weird if our guys are out there looking at it right now.
You can dig it all up. You're right.
I hear it. It's valid.
My name is Jim Cook. I live on Ridgewood Avenue, and our water service comes to our house in 3/4 inch pipe. What would the new service line size be?
Again, that's an engineering question. I want to say 3/4 is sufficient, so it would stay 3/4.
We got a bunch up there.
I'll work my way there.
Anita Jack, 4N164 Fisher. Seeing all the seniors that are in Bensonville, if something happens and we sell our properties, put them on the market, is this a disclosure that real estate people have to tell interested parties in buying your property what is happening?
I'm assuming for the 275%?
Yes, or whatever is going to be going on.
I don't have an answer to that, but I would think they should. I mean, but I don't think they have to. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be transparent, I think you should, but I don't know if they have to, to be honest with you.
Actually, they don't have to disclose this. I could go in not knowing, buy a house and get
So I mean, that's probably a legal question, which I'm not comfortable answering, but I will opine on it. Do you guys have to disclose your 150% rate? Because this number is still within the EPA thresholds. EPA threshold for water rate is 2% adjusted, area median income. So this would be within that. So that's a federal guideline, and we haven't exceeded that. So I would assume that you're okay. But again, I talked to a real estate attorney. We're not providing we're not providing legal advice.
Hi, you mentioned that we could annex and it has to be contiguous. How do we know when our neighbors are doing an annexation? It's going to be logged someplace with you, but how do we know that they're doing it? So when and how will we know whether we're going to be getting the percentage or whether we're going to be annexed?
We'll notify. We'll definitely notify everybody.
Yeah, so this afternoon the mayor asked me to create a White Pines portal for you. And so all this information, the slideshow, the average bills, we can include a GIS map of who's annexed in White Pines and who has an application on file. And so that would be a good idea and helpful.
My name is Bob Petrus. I'm on Church Road, 4N370. Mr. Mayor, you said that we was talking facts here. So, General Manager, you referred to these pipes being ours 2 times already. Have you found out that we own the pipes? You referred to it twice.
So it's a contested issue. The last time the last village manager went through this, the village argued they're their pipes, the White Pines Civic Association argued they're their pipes. My stance on that is I don't care. I don't care. So, right.
Margaret Onoska for N366 Brian. After 20 years of, let's say, do I own those pipes on my property? How is that fair? I'm paying for the pipes.
But here, let's flip side that. When ComEd sends power to your house, you don't own the wires. I mean, Nicor, well, they do charge you. There is charges in the building. But there's a built-in charge there.
Hey guys, let's not get too far down there. We are a regulated utility, providing a utility, which water, sewer, gas, electric, cable is. We are providing that as a public service. So if the pipes are paid for by the village or the village's pipes, I don't know what you would do, why you would want a 12-inch water main. I'm not sure what you want to do with that. Well, so there actually is. I don't think you want the liability of owning the water system. You'd have a licensed water operator, which I don't think you want to do. You take on a lot of liability. So.
I don't know if you're talking about a service connection. That's from the water main to your service bubble box.
That's yours.
Yes. Yeah, from the bubble box to your house, that's your responsibility. But they're going to change it free. But it is yours, and if it does break, you would have to pay to fix it.
That's just to bring water into your house. That's not like the mains going down the streets. That's from the box in the parkway to your house is yours. But we're putting that in.
It's Gary Gardner again, Woodland Avenue. You said you were talking about the townships going away. Many residents are concerned with the possibility the long-term future of Bensonville may not be all that certain with the airport.
Oh, that's false. We can stop right there.
Airport expansion.
That's false.
No, that's not relevant to this.
The question is.
Bob Petrus again on Church Road. You said we're going to be paying, with plan number 2, 225% on our water bill, correct?
No,
275. Right now we're paying 150. So the difference is?
The village rate times 2.75.
Right now we're paying the village rate 1.5. So we're going to raise our rates another 0.2 and 0.25.
All right, you can ask me a question. What kind of warranty is there on your service connection between the main and the house? Do you want to inspect? Well, I will tell you, unfortunately, with any public construction project, 12 months is guaranteed. That's for our roads or trees or whatever.
That's how we sign off on things up to 12 months.
Hi, Warren Larson over on Water Related. We've debated this situation as to who owns these water mains for years here. And it seems to me it's kind of a mute question because the village of Bensonville has been using these water mains for years to provide a product to sell to the neighborhood, and now it has worn out. Now the village of Bensonville is asking the people they're supplying the product to pay for the replenishment of these lines so they can continue to sell it. Is that morally correct? Somehow it don't seem right to me.
Okay, I feel good response to that.